Pandora's box has been unleashed. And so the big question now is, who are the Republicans going to go after? First up, Hunter Biden. His trial starts on Monday. And he's in a little bit of trouble for a lot of reasons. You see, Hunter Biden possessed a weapon illegally. It's interesting, in light of all the concern about the Second Amendment, that the president's son actually had a weapon illegally, and he bought it while he was under the influence of substances he should not be under the influence of. And apparently, the girlfriend at the time, which happened to be, now it gets weird, okay? Like, bear with me, happened to be the widow of his brother. That's who he took up with. Stellar guy that he is. Takes up with her, and she hid the weapon. This is what is alleged. And, well, ultimately, he's found himself in a whole lot of trouble for it, along with other things. I mean, there are things that are problematic, like the tax evasion of some, what was it, 1.4, might have been $1.7 million. I mean, just didn't pay any taxes on this because, hey, why do I have to pay taxes? I'm one of these people. I'm not one of you. I don't have to register as a foreign lobbyist, even though my dad is in charge of Ukraine policy, and I'm working for a company called Burisma that's paying me $83,000 a month. Unheard of for a board job. Unheard of, especially for a guy who had gotten kicked out of the military for some reasons we won't get into, but you know what I'm talking about. It's just, we don't want to alarm anyone with our talk of some of these substances. That's the problem with AI, right? Anyway, so he gets kicked out of the military. Burisma hires him. His dad's in charge of Ukraine policy. And he never bothers to register as a foreign lobbyist, despite the fact he's got money coming in from here, there, and everywhere. You name the country, somehow he's got some affiliation with it. And what's amazing is, for a bunch of Democrats that are so adamant about how we need to get off of the whole traditional energy front, he's out there working the traditional energy front. Nat gas companies out of China. Nat gas companies out of Ukraine. I mean, if you really wanted to be a conspiracy theorist, you'd say, this is kind of funny. He's shutting down the American industry while trying to lobby on behalf of all these foreign industries that want to drill for energy, thereby making us more dependent. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So now he's in the hot seat. And this gun charge is actually kind of serious. So one of the amazing things that has been completely overlooked by the media, and no one's talking about, is that Joe Biden happened to make a little stop by the widow of his son's house. This is the same woman, Haley Biden, who took up with Hunter and apparently hid the weapon. All right. This is wild stuff. Well, anyway, the president dropped by to see her a few days ago, and nobody really reported on this. One Fox reporter asked about it in a news conference. And apparently there's nothing to see here. It was just, it was just a family visit. That's all. I don't think he does this very often, but for whatever reason, days before she is expected to appear in court, Joe Biden, the president of the United States, drops by to say hi. KJP, rock star, PR person, communications expert that she is, well, she was in a little over her head, shall we say, when the Fox reporter asked about this. Let's go to it.
On another topic, why did President Biden have a private meeting with a witness who plans to testify in court against his son?
Can you say more?
Hallie Biden is a key government witness who allegedly disposed of a gun that Hunter is accused of buying illegally. President Biden was at her house this week.
I think the American people should also be told the full breadth of this, not just a part of this question here. As you all know, the president actually spoke to this yesterday during his memorial, I think impactful, powerful Memorial Day address, where he talked about the passing, the anniversary, the 9th anniversary of the passing of his son. And he visited her as that anniversary is approaching. He visited her days before the anniversary of the passing of his son. And she is family. She was married, obviously, to his late son. And I think that is something also to mention as you're asking your question to me.
So they did not talk about her testimony?
This was not about that. This was about literally the 9th anniversary of the passing of his son. That is upcoming in days, Peter.
Really? Really? They expect us to believe that? They do, by the way. They expect you to believe everything. Don't doubt them, not for 1 second. No, not allowed to. So she wants us to think it was just a family event and he was just stopping by to say hi. He couldn't make a phone call. No, he had to physically go there. Kind of reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, of the time that Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton met on the tarmac. Do you remember that? Yeah, that was kind of interesting. During the Obama White House days, head of the DOJ, Loretta Lynch, had a little private meeting with Bill Clinton on the tarmac. You can see in the picture there, that was them. You know, the circle of them meeting together. Boy, was the FBI angry. They were like, who the heck leaked this one? How did that make it into the press? They were really, really angry. Well, Bill and Loretta, they met. And we were told at the time, oh, it was just about the grandkids. They just wanted to say hi and chit-chat about the grandkids. Are you kidding me? It was during the time that Hillary Clinton was under fire for having kept all of her emails from the government on a private server. I mean, totally not something that you should do ever because, well, you know, there's some national security concerns that you should be worried about. And so she was in a whole lot of deep you-know-what because of it. I mean, hey, James Comey saved the day saying, we don't want to go forward with this prosecution. No, because you see, it could be misconstrued as election interference. Imagine that. They used to care about election interference. It's almost quaint, right? You know, a lot of questions about that. A lot of questions about that, ladies and gentlemen. And when we consider that Haley Biden and Joe Biden are meeting up in this little meeting just to talk about the family, I would say, you know, there was a time and place when we were also told it was just about the family. They're on the tarmac with Loretta and Bill. I don't think it was just about the family. And this is what essentially could get exposed right now. I mean, this is the vulnerability for the left. Because if you want to go down this path, and clearly they want to go down it, the right can go down that path too. It's unfortunate. It's not ideal. But this is what we are looking at. This is the reality of the world today. I want to give a quick shout out for our friends, one of our sponsors that make this show possible over at American Heart for Gold. Wonderful, wonderful company. You know, with everything going on in the world and you're looking at all this craziness, you may be wondering if your savings are secure. And look, it's a legitimate concern these days. I'll tell you. It's nuts. It's nuts. Well, these guys are great. It's a wonderful company. Max Baker, who's the president of the company, was actually just on the program last Friday. 1 week ago today, I was actually over in Ireland. Amazing, right? Time flies, and the news cycle is fast. Anyway, Max really was so informed, and it's such an interesting interview that I encourage you to go back and listen to it because he talks about how central banks all over the world are buying gold right now, in part because they're nervous about the U.S., our political situation, obviously, then, of course, our spending situation, obviously, and our inflation situation that comes about as a result of all that. What's great about this company, American Heart for Gold, is you can get up to $15,000 in free silver if you just use my name. A little name dropping here. Text Trish to 65532 or go to this URL. You're never going to forget it. TrishLovesGold.com. That was clever, right? TrishLovesGold.com or call 1-844-495-1115, 844-495-1115. But again, I love this, up to $15,000 in free silver. Look, I'm not your financial advisor, but I think we're in a really unsteady place right now. One of the things that I keep personally in my portfolio, it's actually something that I consider a core holding that I have for hopefully forever, right? Because I think gold is one of those things that really just helps to stabilize you through difficult times. So take a look at American Heart for Gold right now. TrishLovesGold.com. Look, crazy times, crazy times, crazy times.